Okay, give a yell.
You're not the president anymore.
I am for
There you go,
5 minutes.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Carol, but if you give me a chance to read the list of the ones I picked up today, I want to make sure I didn't miss somebody. Because
Okay.
there are a lot of people playing cast.
Yeah. Okay.
Good morning.
Yeah. Well, I'm giving it to MJ because I'm not going to be here next month when Harold will be. So
Leftover thumb drives, anybody? I'm still trying to get rid of. I think this is Leo's, but I didn't check it because you might have something private on there and I didn't
yeah.
look. Yeah. Okay, I'll just keep them then for a while. I'm just gonna get things going before we turn it over to our new sucker, our new president, our new president. We have 3 visitors, I think. Bob Kelvin Nissel, okay. Mitch Randall. Nope. Bill Swift, okay.
And
He's a new member?
Okay.
Just,
Steve-O Adams is also.
and Steve-O Adams, okay. Before I turn it over to Tom, if you looked carefully in the last newsletter, you saw the challenges for the coming year. If you didn't, take a look. They're based on movie titles. Some Like It Hot, It's a Wonderful Life, and so forth. And I spent a lot of time putting together over the weekend a show about city lights. And guess what? My thumb drive is at home. So you'll see that next month. So these are the monthly challenges. No. So they're not in any particular order, just use it as a theme for putting together a bunch of photographs that you want to show. And now, Tom, it's your turn.
Oh, thank you so much. Peter, don't run away. I'd like to present you with a little
Okay.
memento of our gratitude. Thanks and appreciation to Peter Blankman.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It is thanks and appreciation to me for serving as Vice President 2020-22 and President 2023 and 2024. Thank you.
Okay, starting off, I believe Will has a next photo trip scheduled. Will, do you want to tell us about it? No. Yeah. Yeah. And also, Harold is not here. Kemp, on my thumb drive I gave you, I've got the proposed budget that I got from Harold. If you'd be able to pull that up. And in the meantime, MJ has been collecting dues from people who brought their dues today and would like to make sure that she has the names of the people who did contribute.
Bill. Okay, Margaret. And Chris. Is anybody else who needs to?
30. Okay, this is the budget that Harold put together. So we have $1,309 in the checking account as of the end of the year. An estimate of $1,010 coming in from 43 members. Current in the capital account portion is $1,380. And estimated dues income is $250. So we have the total budget. The total amount of money for the year is $3,949.57. The budget for programming is $250. Donations to charity, $200. $250 for incidentals. Long-term funds set aside is $250. State fees. I'm not sure what's different because last year in 2024 was about $40. Well, I guess it's the liability insurance has gone up a little bit, but I don't know what the why it went going from $40 in 2024 to $300. Okay. Okay. So because of that, last year we spent just under $1,200. This year it's going to be a little bit over $1,550 for the budget. With this basically $11,010 coming in from dues. Okay. Anybody have any other questions about that? Harold will be back next month. So I'd wait until Harold's here so he could, if there's any questions, he would be able to answer them. Does that make sense? Okay. Does anybody else have any business they want to talk about today? Ed.
I don't know the person like Peter and yourself, and when I was president here in Dover, everybody stuck together, and raised the guard for us, and Peter, stepped in and brought it down. And stepping about that, the theory for that, shows the resiliency of this club. And, I really appreciate it, having all the things, really just, well, you can talk to you also. I'm really proud of this third year.
We don't have a presentation this month. And we don't yet have anybody coordinating presentations for the year. So if anybody's interested in stepping up and helping with that, let us know. In the meantime, we need to plan, what do we want to do for the rest of the year as far as presentations? If there's anybody that you know that you think would make a good presentation, any of you here that want to do a presentation on something that you're really involved with and care about, I like to see member presentations myself, because I think the members have a better feel for what this club needs and wants than some of the presenters that we brought in. So for one thing, I do like to see that. There are other ideas on who we could get as presenters. Mhm. Okay. Okay, that would be good. Yes. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I agree. Ed?
Nancy started to say about put,
Yeah.
which I really enjoy. Yeah. That I would see that just started out.
Yeah. Yeah, quick tips is a good way. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of demonstrations. I think the one challenge with the tabletop is when you have 4 tables going on at the same time. I think it would be better if we did 4 tables or however, and then did one at a time. So whoever was doing that table could, explain what they were doing to the group and then move on to the next table. Does that make sense? Do you think that would be helpful?
Yeah.
Okay. So if anybody has something that they would like to do a tabletop demonstration on, that would be something else would be very helpful to know. So who wants to volunteer to do a presentation to the group? Anybody have something that you would like to? I mean, Harold did his presentation on drone photography, which I thought was very helpful. Ed has done street photography. So, just think about what you'd like to do. Yes. Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah.
Absolutely. And they were learning from your mistakes. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You made me several days.
Yeah. Peter. Hmm. Yeah.
I would like to get that. Somebody tell me how to get it for. First, mom, that, yeah, it's basically a your test frame, and they change it, and your second test frame, and they change, there must be a platform where. It's like a different monitor. Well, they're 2 different heat processes. The monitor is RGB, it's that way, and the printer is CMYK. So you have to really, you can get as close as you can, or you do what. Well, I think we've been talking for.
Yeah, when I started printing, I got an Epson printer, and it's a 17-inch wide printer. And the reason I bought the 17 instead of the 13 is because the ink was cheaper. If the ink came in 80 milliliter cartridges for the big printer and something like 20 or 24 milliliter cartridges for the small printer. And when I looked at the cost per milliliter, it was $1 per milliliter for the small printer and 75 cents per milliliter for the big printer. So I said, I might as well get the bigger printer. They practically give you the printer, they just want to sell you ink. So I did that. The other thing I did is I bought sample packs of Epson paper, and I tried doing prints on them. And I found one of the print papers, Epson Legacy Platine, has done a pretty good job of giving me what I see is what I get. There are exceptions. I've had a couple times where it's come out and the colors just weren't there. I have one photograph that I took out at the gardens of a tree frog, a green tree frog inside a yellow lily. And I've had it printed out, by somebody else. I cannot get that to print and have the colors come out. I don't know why, but I can't get that one to print myself, but it's a really cool photograph. I have used it to print big. In addition to that paper, I found there's Red River paper, and they make different sizes of paper. Normally the standard size paper I get is 13 by 19 inch. So I do a 12 by 18 inch image on it, which gives me a 1/2 inch border all around it. And then if I want to do something like just upscale it to 16 by 24, they do make a 17 by 25 inch paper, which most places don't go that big, for that. And I haven't gotten into using printing from a roll. So I just try to print individual sheets, and I've had pretty good, and I found a paper there that matches pretty well to what I was trying to do. So I have done as big as 16 by 24.
Yeah, I think
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Okay. Barry, Brad.
Excuse me.
Okay. No.
I'll take the 4 by 6 piece of paper. Try, make changes, try, make changes, try. Until I get where I want to be, I don't need to see. I don't know. That we did ground on and color thing we did that with that when you got all color the way you want it was pretty overall.
Mhm.
And we looked at that thing and looked at that thing, and no way that we could totally reproduce color chart with the exact same color.
Yeah.
And I suspect that it probably grew for many holes. All the way through, I don't know the answer to that. I finished my color. But if you didn't use my experience with the printers, I looked again and throw one out. And I was terrified when I bought it. As a matter of fact, I'm a little embarrassed to tell you, but the printer sat there for 11 months. I never even plugged it in. The other age of printers that I had, which were the 3-in-1, all kind of stuff with it, is that if it doesn't sit too long, the jets would fly up. And the only fix was to throw them out by a new one.
Yeah.
So I went through videos and then I don't know about great issue to printer, giving the money towards the business of the labor and so I was cool. I know the plug in I can use it. I was terrified if I left it for a while, but I need that to fly up. Well, they don't do that. They got engineering in there where I was on for 3.5, 4 months, didn't use it for another one. So it went for 5 months of non-use and plugged it in. It goes through this gyration when you start to press something of cleaning the gas. It is automatic, you won't tell it. And I never had an issue with it. Now, that's the good news. I had it for about 5 years, and the part is sprinkled into the bottle. Do not buy printers. The spring, when you push it in, they will not go in properly. I told Ken that they have to prepare, they don't prepare the print. So I introduced the printer to the Ottawatomie County landfill, and I bought another printer. I bought another can. And this time I bought the extended warranty on it. They just before the warranty expires, the printer is going to have an accident. Anyway, that's my experience to that. I love the regular paper. And on the laser printer, my sidekick and he does parts and he produces he puts parts in that printer and prints all sorts of all the leaf patterns and all she's been making the parts for that for a long.
Yeah.
Very well. And the laser printer is very expensive. The cartridge is more expensive, but you never have an issue with anything.
What I do, well, with my Epson, I've had it an occasional time. Before I print something, if I haven't printed for a little while, I basically put a sheet of just basically white paper in it, printer, and you do a test sheet. So it shows how each color is printing. And it may be that one of them, maybe the black is not giving full. So you're going to run it through a head cleaning process, try it again and do that make sure that everything looks like it's printing well. Cause I've made the mistake of printing something and found out that the black wasn't printing and it didn't look real good. Yes, Peter.
I don't know what it was. The first printer I had, the cartridge is not good in there, but I was using OEM or equipment manufactured cartridge to get it a little cheaper. Since then, I started buying them now. There's not a lot of difference in price where they're used to quite a bit. And I had a lot of trouble with the company once I placed the order getting the cartridges. Where we came basically on teenage, and I don't know, 48 hours later I got it. So I'm gonna stop on the way to that. They have usually get one result.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, a lot of the printers though now will not recognize anything. I mean, I don't think our Epson printer will recognize anything except an Epson cartridge. I mean, there are places where you can actually get software to try to, yeah, but I haven't tried anything.
I did have software issues. I did have software issues with the Epson 3-in-1 printer that I had, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. We have a new member here, Brad. I wanted to acknowledge Brad as a new member here. So, thanks. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, mine, the printer I have still uses the cartridges. They haven't gone to the Echo Tank, well, at least on that one. But what printer do you use, Peter? Canon? Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to reach out to a woman who I have taken workshops from at Lewis Ginter. She used to be Canon's printing expert. I took a workshop out there and she printed on all sorts of materials. She did prints on silk. She did prints on all, and she was a big believer in printing your work, partly just to have the physical thing, but also to do other things. I'm going to try to reach out to her and see if she would be willing to do a presentation for us on getting the best out of your printer. Yeah.
They'll take a picture and they make a paint by number. So you can take your photo and make it a paint by number. It's the canvas and the paint. I don't know, it sounds like something to do when it's snowing today. I'm still not doing it before.
Well,
It's another method of a lot of snowy winter days.
yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Every year I make have a jigsaw puzzle made for my wife. And she's mad at me right now because the one I got her, she thinks it's going to be very hard. But so.
And imagine, I got booked on doing my own darkroom work many years ago, decades ago. When I sold the print on the trade, black and white print, and that made it your passion.
Yeah.
And I did not get that feeling again until I bought that printer and after 11 months looked it up. And I sold that print come out. This time it was color. It just is a magical feeling. And I will tell you this too. In the quality of the prints, there is a big difference in your print and the paper that you sell. Big difference. And I've got a chest of all these different papers and went through the project. When you see a print, you see an image on the screen, this is what paper is that matching. And that was a wonderful experience. And the other thing, the other downside of that printer is that you have the capability of producing enough prints to wallpaper every house in your county.
Yeah.
So you can overproduce and you wonder what you're going to do with all these prints. And family members generally, after three or four holiday seasons, no longer appreciate the seeing the friends.
Okay, I have another question, something I'm working through right now. I have an Apple Mac Mini. It's a little computer about this big, 2 terabyte hard drive. I also have an external 8 terabyte hard drive. Part of it, I have my Lightroom catalog of everything from 2023 back in time. And then the other part of it is set up just to do backups of my computer. I also back up to the cloud. I'm at the point now where I have so many photos that my 2 terabyte hard drive is almost full. And I only have 1 year's worth of photos on it, plus all the other documents and stuff I have. So I'm now about to put in a 20 terabyte backup drive just to have it. How are you going? What's that? Huh? I keep taking pictures, and I know that 99% of them I'll never use again. And honestly, when I go out and take pictures, I do get rid of my rejects, and I have a lot of rejects that I get rid of, but I still have too many. And since, my newest camera is a 45 megapixel camera, the pictures are big. And if I do focus stacking, the finished product is really big. So, Ed?
I've always stored my photos.
Mm-hmm.
I currently have 2 10 terabyte drives. One is the drive with my original photos. The other one I use as a backup.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also back
Yeah, I'm using Backblaze now.
I don't back up my computer.
Yeah.
Back in, backs up everything. I can't see, I know some people, and I think this is probably a good idea, if you're working on a photo or a photo, put those on your internal hard drive, that's probably the fastest drive in the pack, if you understand the connection, and then move it to
Yeah.
I haven't actually done that, I've been working on my external, and I've been trying to get, because it's probably half fill or a little bit more than half fill right now. And sometimes it's spinning for a while.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a little bit. Get a second.
Yeah. Well, what I have been doing is at the end of the year, for example, I had on my hard drive, the main one, I had my photos from 2023 and 2024 on that. And everything else was on the external drive. So at the end of the year, I moved my 2023 over to the external drive. And I still have the 2024 and anything new I'm doing in 2025. So once I get this 20 terabyte hard drive put in, I might move 2024 as well, just to give me more room on the main computer.
It has to be an external.
Oh, yeah, it's an external. Yeah. No. No.
Second, I'm hearing all of this, wondering if there's a way to discover different processes that people do from taking the photo to what do they do with the photo, how do they do it? I'm sure everybody knows it. But it might be interesting.
Yeah. Peter?
I don't think. I mean, I was finding myself, going back 15 years or more, picking out a photo that, that's pretty good. Well, 15 years ago, I had no idea what to do with it, but now I do.
Yeah. I have gone back and re-edited some older things, but I one of the problems, for example, I go out to the Botanic Gardens a lot, and when I take photos out there, typically I'd go out for 2 hours and I'd take 300 photos. And then I'd come back and I'd get rid of 200 of them. Because I take a lot of multiples trying to get the focus point right and everything. So I delete all of those. And then I'll edit that 100 down to, some that are savable, some that are, maybe I'll post on Facebook. And if I'm really lucky, I might find one that's worth printing, but that's, not a certainty, maybe. So I narrow that down, but then I also, since I'm doing it for the Botanic Gardens, I put them on a separate file on Dropbox. So they have access to my Dropbox file that's set for them, so they can use it for social media. So that takes up a lot of space too, because I've got Dropbox files for them going back to like maybe 2017. That's a lot of files.
Years ago, slide the digital conversion. I had slides that I put back in the 60s that were damaged. And I just looked at them, and I think I scanned a couple of them. And they shook my head. Didn't scan them through the slide. So, I mean, they were damaged. They had some of them had holes in them.
Yeah.
What I saved, I don't have nothing or so that was damaged because I drew things like the Dead Sea Scrolls. And with the tools available today, I don't think we'll recover. So now I'm hesitant to get rid of it. Other than the absolute worst of the worst, where you cameras point with the ground, you look at pictures from the
Well, I've got a large box in my attic of slides that I took back in the late 70s and into the 80s when I was doing a lot. If I did color, I did slides. If I was doing black and white, I did prints. But and my wife for a while was wanting to let's go through these and see what we want to save. And I finally said, I don't want to save any of it. I don't want to spend the time going through this and trying to recover all of these. It's just too many. And as I looked through them, I said, most of them are crap. So.
That interesting was good, was bad, now I think it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to convert 2000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, by the way, I have a good therapist.
Yeah.
It was glorious, glorious. Now, as a result of that, and of course, the slides were not in any sort of order. No, there was, this trip here in this box and this birthday here over there. So after I did those, the second thing was to group them in the categories, which took quite a bit of time. And I found, the trips that I took, first trip to Hawaii, second trip to Hawaii, those don't really mean anything to me. And looking at them, so much better than I was then. A lot of stuff I took pictures of, I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
But the ones with family, of the family groups and that sort of thing, are invaluable. And it was very worthwhile converting them into digital because I've got children and grandchildren that want these things. So, it is worthwhile, but and I did it myself. I didn't send them.
Yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, from Florida, no limits. And the part
Kodak doesn't make the film clear. But technically, their programs now, they can bring back an extra slide. Yeah, they can't bring back the Kodak.
Yeah, I did, Tesla used to make a kit where you could process the E6 slides, the and I used to buy them 100-foot rolls and roll it all up myself. Yeah, I know this sounds fine. I thought, right? Yeah, I had the little relaxing thing that you roll, and it was a way to really reduce your cost. And then you could process your own film, and the result was very good.
And then when you do negative, did you buy the negative?
Yeah, that's
Not quite negative.
yeah, I've done several, but rather than just doing all of them, I'm now going through them, like, okay, here are the birthdays or whatever. And,
Then we pay you to do them, Howard. We pay you to do hours.
you may want to look at my fee schedule first. The latest I have, that prints I've got to digitize too, from a very old. I thought it, or if it was an Epson scanner, a big scanner, a big throw scanner, and supposedly it can scan multiple negative slides, but I haven't tried it. I haven't still over it.
What I was doing, we can send the whole photo, to get to see it, I have to see it, but I don't want it to do it. I'm going to figure it out. Everybody knows the place to go down there.
Legacy Box.
Where?
There's a company called Legacy Box.
Legacy box.
Legacy Box. I've never used it, but I've heard people that have. They'll take slides, they'll take.
We need to get the photo share.
Super great.
Yep.
They actually send you a box and you load it up and you send it back.
Okay.
Back on hard drive, DVD.
Okay, we're gonna move to photo share in just a minute because I believe we have a lot this month. For next month, I will not be here. I'll be in Tucson, Arizona, which, is a good thing. So I don't know what anybody has a plan for, or an idea what they would like to do for next month for the meeting. I believe is that one at Tuckahoe? Okay, that's at Tuckahoe. So does anybody have thoughts about what they would like to do for the next meeting?
I won't be at the next one either, so it will not be on Zoom.
Okay. You'll come up with something? Okay, good. And I said, yeah. Okay, so do we want to take a 5-minute break and then start with photo share? Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, just want these back control. The red one might be mine, but I'm not sure.
So I didn't know if you had any time in the next, I'm leaving for my trip, middle of April,
Okay.
so I'm hoping to get.
Are you gonna go to next?
You usually have your name on it.
Yeah, this one's not mine. I was thinking the red one might have been, but this one isn't. Okay, Okay. Are you gonna be at the, next week, we're going to the VMFA to do photographs?
I can be, yeah, I went by there a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we're gonna get out there at 10 o'clock on, next Tuesday.
Okay,
No, next Wednesday. It's Wednesday. We'll set that up. So we're gonna, a whole bunch of people from the group are gonna go out there and do photography. That's a good place to go.
sure.
Yeah.
Was there any chance that we could get together for kind of a one-on-one?
Yeah.
Compensate for it, obviously. Whatever is normal for that is fine with me.
Okay.
But I think just even 2 or 3 sessions over time.
Yeah.
Will jumpstart.
Right. Okay.
I've been working on making most of the mistakes.
That's good. That's good.
So,
Yeah.
I went out to the conservatory the other day and took some pictures. Came back home, and there's like big shadows in the middle of the picture.
Yeah.
Where did that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's the process.
Yeah. And, the R5 is a really powerful camera, but there's a lot to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, was there an opportunity to do anything later between now? When are you leaving to Tucson?
I'm leaving for that on February 8th. 7th. I'm leaving on the 7th. So
Would there be an opportunity to maybe try and get in like 2 sessions before
yeah,
then?
I think we could do that.
So maybe I'll just send you an email.
Yeah. Let me know what days look good for you that you would have
And
time.
we could meet at dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a place, or, with a number of different places, depending on the weather.
So I have a BMFA membership at dinner, and I also got a membership to Age Club.
Okay.
By Age Club.
I've never been to H-Crop
Yeah.
myself. Yeah.
They have some gardens there.
Yeah.
And
So when you go to Europe, you're going to be looking at a lot of city scenes, and expecting to be doing more landscape type thing, plus inside buildings, I would guess.
so right now I'm looking at 3 things for Europe. One is my iPhone.
Yeah.
2 is a 50 millimeter 1.8. And 3, and you're probably not gonna like this, but the 24 to 240. It's apparently not a really great lens,
Okay.
but 24 to 240,
Yeah.
that's hard to walk away from.
Yeah. You say a 15 millimeter,
The 50.
50.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you also mentioned you had the 15 to
I have
30.
the 15 to 35.
That one I think will come in handy rather
Okay.
than the 50.
All right.
It's depending on what you want to do, because I think you go inside a church, 24 probably isn't going to be wide enough. Yet being able to get wider than 24, I found is very helpful. So when I travel, I've got a 100 to 400 telephoto. I've got a 24 to 105.
Have that.
Okay, which is a very nice lens. Now, with the 24 to 105, that's a really good lens. And if you need to get longer than that, you can put a teleconverter on it that doubles your distance. It goes between the camera and the body.
I think I have that.
Okay, that might give you, if you need something reach, that would take you up to 210 millimeter.
Right. And it's a much better camera than
That's better lens. Yeah. And if you do that with the 15 to 35, that'll give you the really wide angle shots. Yeah.
You play with that.
Yeah. Give that a thought. It's like if you go to the VMFA, that wide angle can be really nice. There's some interesting architectural things you can look at there. And so having the ability to go wide, I think you'll find it helpful,
That's a
especially inside a building. And I use the 24 to 105 for a lot of things. But there are times I need to get wider, and I find that wide angle really can bring things, do some things.
right. Lenses I'm gonna.
Yeah.
take.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is, you may find that, go up on ISO a little bit, if you don't, the 24 to 105 is a f4. I rarely shoot at f4. I'm always shooting a little bit,
F8, F10.
yeah, something like that, just to get more depth of field. But I'm really trying to narrow it down.
Good, thank you.
Yes, and Brad?
How you doing?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm interested in photography. But I could research for the area. Lewis Skinner popped up a couple times.
Yep.
I went on the website. I don't know. They had some class and take a picture of your cell phone or whatever, but are there other?
I'm doing 2 workshops out there this year. The first one is in May, and we go out into the gardens. We photograph flowers, landscapes, whatever. We come back in, and then we edit them and share them with the group. That's one that I do.
Is it gonna be early May or?
I think about mid-May, mid to early to
May not be
mid.
in town, so we'll see.
Let me take a look at my phone here. I think I've got the. Let me see. I think it's in my calendar. May 10th. Yeah, it's a Saturday. Yeah. The other one I do later in the year, we actually bring in flowers. And I have lights and backdrops, and we do floral portraits, which is something I like to do a lot. So. What kind of camera do you use?
I got a Nikon 7500.
Okay.
I guess it's, at least when I bought it, they said it was still, it wasn't pro grade, but
Yeah.
at that time I figured, well, probably never use the functions.
Yeah.
And then I still haven't gotten to that point at all, but I'm trying. I went to the Virginia Forensic Academy back in the dark ages. One portion of the class was photography. And they taught a really good photography class, basic stuff, and then the specialties.
Yeah.
So trying to get those images out of my head after 30 years.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Doing, and I like doing little arts and pictures
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a different ballgame. You're concentrating on different things from that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
A lot more freedom to do different things. So
Yeah.
I got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
just been playing.
Okay.
I think I've taken some pretty good scene pictures.
Yeah.
It's got a more powerful lens now. And this year I was going to try to concentrate on critter pictures.
Yeah. Cool.
We'll see. I've got summers I've been taking part-time, well, it's a full-time job, seasonal up in the yard.
Yeah.
I'm doing it again this year, probably last year. So I'm locked in either being up there 3.5 months or 2.5 months, depending on which job.
Yeah.
I take. But I would probably, my kids are there, so I'll probably still
Yeah.
go up there for periods of time. But not
Yeah.
2 months in a row.
Right. Okay, good.
Are there, is that one, a lot of people here do that kind of photography? Or
Yeah.
are they more-
Yeah. Pat's not in here right now. She does really good bird photography. I hope she does some in PhotoShare today.
I understand there's a group of people that there's a walk through the swamp. Bird Creek, Western. It's putting my list right near there, and he takes that walk.
Okay. That Tuckahoe Creek Park?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, Pat goes there a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bird pictures.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay. Okay, if we can get ready for PhotoShare here. PhotoShare. Yes? Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay, starting photo share. These are my photos. This was from the first night. Actually, this was before Garden Fest opened. This was the media preview night. I was out there. Yeah, nobody's there. Also, there was water in the reflecting pool. They later drained it and put lights in the reflecting pool. Yeah, Pat, you were out there. Yeah, yeah. So I liked having the reflection, but I think they thought that it was going to freeze and cause damage, so they drained it. In the past, they'd have the fountains on, and that helped. They redid the peacock this year that made the tail better, and I did this one with intentional camera movement. Kind of my favorite of the peacock pictures. Yeah, I held the camera. Yeah. And this is one I always try to get during Garden Fest as the reflection of the conservatory in the lake. It was a very cold, clear night, and it was good to get that reflection. And this is a chrysanthemum that I picked up at the store. It was part of a bouquet, and I wanted to get up close and personal with that one. This was a white amaryllis I picked up, and it bloomed. And this one actually ended up with 3 shoots. I've never had one do that, but it was a white amaryllis, and I like that one a lot. Yes. 100 millimeter macro. This is also stacked. This is backlit and in black and white. And this is just a straight on front shot of it. This was a ranunculus that I had picked up at the store. I think this one I picked up at Wegmans, and I really liked this. It was as it filled out, it had a lot of layers to it. I like that. And this was out at Lewis Ginter, orchids in the conservatory. I'll get a chance to do that. The orchid show at Lewis Ginter will be the end of February. I'll miss it because I'll be out of the country, but it's a great show. Next. So I didn't get out for the lights very much this year. I wish I had. I went out one morning and I wanted to go to Belle Isle because that's my favorite view of the city is from Belle Isle. But the area I normally park in was blocked off. And I couldn't find a good place to park down near there. And it was, getting late. So I went over to the flood wall. And I got up on the platform of the flood wall and I was able to shoot over the foliage there. I didn't get the river reflection, which is what I was really hoping for. But I got the city lights before the sun came out that morning. So then while I was up there on the platform, that's a 14th Street bridge, which I thought was an interesting angle. So I got that. Yeah, this is before sunrise. So then the next shot, I went back that late afternoon and I went down the flood wall toward the 9th Street bridge. And this was as the sun was setting and it was lighting up the buildings of the city. So I thought that was an interesting shot. And then I hung around there until it got almost fully dark, but I liked having the clouds still in the sky and getting the reflections across the lake. So I like that shot. And then this was a chrysanthemum that I picked up. The first time I photographed it, I got real close into it and realized that the center of it was full of dirt that I couldn't see until I had it blown up on the screen. So I ran it underwater and I cleaned it out with a Q-tip and then I redid it. It came out pretty well.
Black and white, or was that white?
This was black and white, but it was a white one with, yeah. And this was in my backyard. I've been experimenting with my telephoto lens and a 1.4 times teleconverter, trying to get shots, practicing that. And this was a cardinal that I got in a tree in my backyard. And then this is the female cardinal at my feeder. And then this one is picked up button chrysanthemums. They're about 3/4 of an inch diameter, the biggest ones. And they were all bunched together when I picked them up at Trader Joe's. So I took a shot of them like that, all bunched together. And I told my wife I'm going to make that as her next jigsaw puzzle. And then I just took one stem out of them and put those together and got that shot. Okay, so whoever is next, say your name so that MJ knows whose photos.
Okay. Well, Pasadena has the Rose Bowl Parade and Richmond has the Cool Day Parade. And I've never seen the Cool Day Parade before. So my wife and I decided to take a little ride down there and it was hysterical fun. I mean, it was just so much fun. And you just go through, one at a time. There's no special story. I think that, we just really enjoy the colors and the fun that was going on.
Does anyone know the history of this event?
This was the 19th year. And I was talking to somebody, they said like the first year like 30 people. There were hundreds of people. And what they do is they all meet in the parking lot where the supermarket is, which yeah, Thompson, yeah. And it's sponsored by the bookstore that's in there. And so that, and everybody just walked up, or down Carey Street and back up. It was fantastic. I mean, you can just see how many people there. It's just really hysterical. Which one is you, Ed? And this is where they started. Yeah, well, I'm taking pictures, yeah.
So this started with the old Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, it probably did. It probably did. And I love these 4 girls. They were just so cute, with their mushroom colors. Oh yeah, it was the last one.
They do that every year.
When did they have that?
January 1st. Really? Morning, afternoon. In the morning, I think it started in June. And, my wife and I got there at 11:30 and the parking lot was empty by 11:45, it started to fill up. People just kept on coming in and couldn't believe how many people were dressed up. It's fun. It's just, next year you gotta put this on the calendar. You just go out and do it.
This is my set. Some of you may know, my husband and I went on a 51-day cruise last fall. And this is Eric, and you should always try to find an Eric on the cruise. He and his wife have been on this to the South Pacific several times. He knew what island to go to. He knew Advo, he knew something stronger than Advo. He's a snorkeling hat. Eric, that's Eric. And other things that we did on the cruise, not really I quickly did, but I like this because it's the triangle and that fellow was very fun. He said, oh yeah, just make me look good. This is what's for Oktoberfest, and the entertainers are also on board for the 51 days as well. Just some other shots of Oktoberfest. They're, the Ocean Bar band is very popular. They're there every night. That's recording. You know, they all do different instruments and they're very popular. And instead of joining the walkathon, I would just take a picture. Poland Marathon. We've been on there before, and I don't have any connection with them other than going on the cruise, but consistently the service is great, friendly, efficient, and everything is great. I'm sure my husband wants to go on it. And just some friendly faces. Not so friendly faces. But they were all, they were, yeah, I want to take a picture for some of the artists. That was very popular. The headdress everywhere we went on. And that was in the Marquesas. Oh, okay. We started in San Diego and it took us like 6 days to cruise down to the Hawaii area. And yes, I went to Pearl Harbor and then the main island, Oahu, we're in the island, the open shot was there, and then here's the Permian. But yeah, and then we were there for like 4 or 5 days, and then it took another 4 or 5 days to get down to Samoa, Tonga, Polynesia, Marquesas, and I learned that I'm not a tourist, or I try not to be a tourist. Now it's really travelers. Because you go into these places. This was in Baccarat, French Polynesia. There are 897 people on this island. And when you go to one of the churches, those are all clamshells, and everything was decorated with different shells, and it was just incredible. And this is how some of the churches were decorated. This is the last one, but this is part of that church. Go back one more. This was part of the church on the outside. It was the grotto, and all of the hangings up there. I mean, with thousands of shells, and for 897 people worship. And you can just see how intricate it was everywhere. I learned that I could never be a missionary along the way, to go to these, like, this is a present one you should go to. You find the same thing down in Island, Samoa, Tonga. It was incredible. So I'm sure my husband knows how to do it. I'll go. I kind of like the way they file like the big wall. Great back. What did you do? Multi-exposure. Creating. They want. And people that, when you multi-exposure, you layer them also in photo elements. Yeah. And then, oh no, it's just, some of them are in camera and some of them are layers. Yeah.
This photo is for context. So take note of the wooden frame. And the door. I don't quite know what to make of it.
Did you buy it?
This is me, Chris. I spent most of November and December in Europe, principally in France and Italy. And one thing about going to northern Europe, the late fall, early winter, is that the weather is typically miserable. Probably in 5 weeks in France, I enjoyed about 5 days of sun. So you basically get the habit of whenever the sun breaks through the clouds for even a few minutes at a time, you start firing on the camera or whatever's around you. And so there was one time, this is the village of Agnettes, which is about an hour north of Paris. Oh, okay. Too slow, fast. This is a bike I saw in a garden in the town of Clermont, which is also the town just next to Agnettes. We had just after a rainstorm, you see the water off the spider web. This is the Galerie Lafayette, I guess Paris's most famous shopping center. Fully decked out for the Christmas season. We have here, this is Grand Trianon.
which was Louis the 16th, I guess, pleasure palace. We got tired of their side, we come here for a little rest and recovery. Yeah, the pink marble was absolutely beautiful. The vacation home was so larger than 99.9% of all chateaux and houses in France. Okay, now we're skipping down into Italy. This is in Lake Garda, Italy's largest lake, in between Lombardy and Veneto. With the exception of Richmond and Charlottesville, I spent more time at this lake than probably any other place in the world. Very cold day, there's one little boat there braving the very cold temperatures. All right, back in France, this is a nice little architectural shot of Iron-Bay's pyramid from the inside looking up at the this is in the American cemetery in Normandy. Very moving experience, especially early in the morning. There's not many crowds around, very quiet. And it's a nice moment where the sun broke the cloud again. You can see the shadows of crosses. That's a nice way by looking at it there. So one morning I walked down to the Université after the Cathedral reopened. I didn't think I'd be able to get in, but it turned out there was no line whatsoever, so I walked right in. This was before the newly renovated cathedral, and this is on the main altar in the statue of Louis XIII offering the crown of France, the Virgin Mary, with a stained glass window in the background. This is the Cathedral of Saint Gatien in Tours during Armistice Day. I couldn't get into the cathedral during a special mass that already started. It worked out very well because I was waiting on the square across the streets. The sun broke through again momentarily, and this late afternoon sun is blasted inside with the light. Very typical Catholic cathedral. So this was taken in Saint-Denis-de-Provence, which I guess is best known as the place where Van Gogh recovered from his, I guess you would say, mental collapse during his late in life. There was nobody around this morning except for this cat that refused to leave me alone, just followed me everywhere. Really wanted this photo taken, so at one point stopped and got a few shots, and that was the best one. Really photo. This was taken in the Coudon du Gardon, just next to the Louvre. This one was so completely absorbed in feeding the birds, so I got far enough away to be unnoticed without the telephoto lens and took a few shots of her. Oh, I'm going to butcher the name of this town. We're back in Italy. I believe this is the town of Valdivedene. In the Ticino region of Italy, which is basically the Italian Dolomites. I just walked out from having an aperitivo. It's the primary Prosecco producing region in Italy, and was lucky enough to see the nice scenery, beautiful kind of purple and blue skies, with the building reflecting off the little infinity pool and the main piazza there. That is the gate just outside of their side. Right after closure, there's lights all along outside the gates. When it brightens up there, and the beautiful purple sky. It's one of the few clear days I enjoyed in France.
That's mine. That's my one of my granddaughters. This is down near Charleston, and she was kayaking in this lake at the campground. Got a couple counselors standing over there in the lake. And I called it the moon shot for the movie scene. This was actually a handheld, started with a 600mm handheld 1/5000th of a second. The moon is really bright. And so I started 1/5000th of a second, I took 400. So it's yeah, I was surprised to have all that. So, yeah. My photograph that I
Yeah. Yeah, the good, bad, and the ugly. The good obviously are guys, the bad, try to ride them with the government award, so. I went up to, for this image, I went up to Hershey and Pennsylvania, on our RV show, found out that they were having this, whatever you want to call it, World War II. World War II, I could not resist. I thought they may have a couple of Jeeps, whatever. The amount of things they have on display there, these people that were dressed up in American uniforms, German uniforms, Italian uniforms, it was incredible. But just to give you an idea of one of the things that was there was a dentist that was there, full-time dentist, that collected the field dental office of that era and had that on display, with the chair and the equipment. I saw these guys and I took their picture and I maintained contact with them because they wanted me to send them copies of this, which I did. And it afforded one of these World War II reenactors. It also got me banned on Facebook. Oh, really? Yeah, they pulled it down and got me banned on there. It was an absolutely incredible experience to see this.
And where was this, Paul?
This was 2017. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Also, here I was walking around with my camera, and somebody asked me if I shot in raw. And I said, no, I don't take new photography. I had no idea what raw was. And this was the
I have to remember that one. That is fantastic.
well, I was quite serious. This is the start of my journey into the digital world. I had no idea about Photoshop. I didn't know my camera shot raw. I didn't even know. It was just so much I didn't know. And this was, when the challenge came up with this, I was thinking of 3 different images. And for reasons I don't understand, this image came back to mind that I have not looked at in, I don't know, 3 or 4 years anyway. Brought it up. But if you're into World War II, whatever, or just want an interesting photographic afternoon, this was in the fall and coincided around the Hershey RV show. I haven't looked for it again, but it was one heck of a neat place to take pictures. That's where do you find all this stuff? Is that all you are? How do you find it?
That's all the food there was in.
Okay, do we have any other topics we would like to discuss? Any thoughts?
Does everybody know about the pricing change or building pricing change?
No.
For what? Well, the Lightroom, the photographer's bundle, which has Lightroom flashes, Lightroom, Photoshop, et cetera, has been like $9.99 again for the 5 years in a while. But what they did is that if you pay annually $9.99 times 12, it's still that price. But if you pay on a monthly basis, it went up to $14.95, almost $15. On the other hand, the price for the photographer's bundle, that gives you 22 bucks a price, which is basically that's one of the flexes. But the 1 terabyte bundle is $19.99. So I always pay on a monthly basis. I mean, I wasn't going to pay on an annual basis. It's just me. Okay? So I figured $14.99, $19.99. I switched my phone to the 1 terabyte. I don't know what I'm going to do with the cloud. I've never, really done anything with it. Really make that. So Anyhow, just. thought that was,
When does that start?
I think I already started.
It starts on the 15th.
It starts on the 15th of
And they're
January.
not going to offer the bundle, they're not going to offer the 20 gig bundle anymore for new subscribers, so if you want it, you have to get it in the next 48 hours.
Right.
And also, if you pay an annual, you can pay the $9.95 or whatever, now for the whole year, and it doesn't go up.
Right.
So you can get a whole year, otherwise, it's 2 months later, it'll go up.
It goes up to almost. I think January 15th is the cutoff.
January 15th, when everything goes into effect.
Can you pay the 1995 times 12?
For the,
I think you
for the
could,
20
but
gig.
it's still 1995 times 12.
So I think
So this-
that the price is only risen for the monthly fee, as of now.
As of now, the price is only risen for 20 gigabyte monthly pay.
We'll see how long that lasts, but.
Yeah. Exactly. I think if you're paying out for the year, I think they're locked into that. You're locked into the 1 year. And then they might get. Anyhow, I thought that was an interesting thing, you know. I mean, I've always thought that Adobe is trying to get everybody into their cloud. To buy more cloud storage. There's also in Lightroom, which is over a year older, I think it's October of 2023. They added this local module to what used to be just Lightroom cloud on the desktop. Now you have a choice of local or cloud. But the local is, it's kind of like your Explorer or your Finder on that. There's very little digital asset management in there now. Although I think they may have done something like that. But you know, in my mind, eventually there's going to be more than those. I don't have any insight. I'm just thinking, you know, from a corporate management standpoint, they have Adobe Camera Raw, they have Lightroom Classic, and they have Lightroom, and the Raw range is basically the UI is well basically the same. Anyhow, that might actually be an interesting presentation. Different workflows, Adobe Camera Raw, Photoshop versus Lightroom Classic versus using Lightroom desktop.
Are you comparing that? What is the minute and, oh, MJ? What is it?
Actually, I was thinking about it, yeah, and I haven't really used the Lightroom desktop in the local version. I think the biggest difference, and really the only difference, is that the lack of digital asset management in the desktop version versus that. That's usually the category we're in. There'll be an interesting. Somebody new.
Okay, anything else? Okay. Nick, February. Oh, it's at Tuckahoe. I believe it's Tuckahoe. And I'll see some of you on Tuesday, no, a week from Wednesday. Yeah, out at the VMFA. Thank you.
Was
All right, what do you got?
Invited me to go to the Olympics in July, but I could not go because I had a job.
All right.
I was able to have some vacation for November, December, so.
Okay, this is.
5 weeks, 30 family, over it, and 3 weeks, with my ex-girlfriend.
Want me to create a folder to put them into, or just, all right? From Tom,
We had quite a few long conversations. You're not getting that. Sorry, yeah. 2 hours.
right, I'm not sure which one that one is. Oh, here. Peacock. Okay. Number 6. Yep. Okay.
In London. Okay.
Much smaller days, but only do with headshots.
Can I get your back?
I was brand my house. Lots of money.
Eric?
Oh, yeah, yeah, we're 40. You know, I'm working.
Ocean Ball.
Wait a minute. We're copying some stuff off the wall.
I've got a storage unit. Right next to the side. That I.
Yeah, so I got to know some calls like 8:30 a.m. or
Say a lot. You know, with just.
But
what
I
I
left
need.
about hours later, they lined up 500 people. So like,
Oh, there it is.
Morning. You're gonna take it. It's free.
Oh,
I guess over your time, I did not do that.
Which one?
I did one.
First one.
Okay, well.
All right, Sue.
You're going to get
Nancy.
Nancy, okay. Chicago Square Blue Building. Name on.
Name on.
The other channel.
Oh, wait a minute. No, name on 3.
So that is in the same area as Versailles. So when you go to Versailles, you can also buy a ticket for Versailles. You can also
Alright.
and the detail where you can turn it. So it's all part of the larger complex.
This would be all the others.
Oh, okay. Barry.
If you only have 2 days in France, I'm not sure if I would do all of that. Versailles itself would be about part of it. You know what? I don't. It's not that it's quite Versailles, but if you were there in the winter, the gardens are pretty much completed up in the sea, all the statues are covered up. The weather's gonna be pretty gloomy. I'm still getting
Very
inside,
smiles.
really beautiful. But a significant part of the Versailles experience is
Frame lady.
I mean, it does take probably, if you go by train.
Rolls Royce dashboard.
5 minutes, about an hour.
School bus.
From central Paris to get there, or south. So if you're going to
Got it.
Versailles, you're basically committing yourself to one of your
Alright.
to go there.
Yes.
Mhm.
And Versailles,
Agnets.
you can do Versailles, you can see the chateau.
The Grand Trianon.
Unless you have overwhelming desire to go to Versailles, I don't know if I would make that one of my 2 days in the winter.
Camp.
It's bringing better, yeah.
Good, bad, the other.
All right. Okay. This is Tom. The Tom lead? Okay. I'm not gonna be here next month. We're gonna take those and bring them back next month.
of the normalization.
I mean, I'll be gone.
I know that the museum is going to be closed down for renovations for several years. I'm not sure exactly when, it's going to be soon. It's the Bio Tapestry Museum. Say BAYE